Welcome back to Cook It Simple with Eric. Today we are making a side dish since the holiday's coming up. I have to go to a barbecue, so I thought I'm going to make a side dish. But I wanted something simple and budget friendly to take. There's not a lot of us, so I just made a smaller batch, but here it is. We are making a corn casserole with a few extra flavors added the way I like it. So let's get started. So the ingredients that we'll be using today are a full stick of butter, which is a half cup, salted, and I will melt this down right before we put it into our batter. We're going to use a 15 1/4 ounce can of your whole kernel corn, 15 1/4 ounce can of your cream style corn, and 8 1/2 ounce box of your Jiffy muffin mix. Also in this batter, we're going to put 8 ounces of sour cream. We're going to do 1 egg. You can do 2 if you like. I'm going to stick with 1 egg. I think it comes out better with 1. Some people prefer 2. It's up to you. And in the batter, we're also mixing up about a half cup of diced onion, about a 1/4 cup of Serrano pepper, so I think there's 3 right there. So the Serrano pepper is similar to a jalapeno. It's just smaller and a little more pointy, and it's about 5 times hotter from what I read. Should be good. I like to have my corn casserole have a little kick to it. Now in the end, or what we're going to do is we're going to top it with sliced onions. So I just like to lay this, once we get our batter put in, I like to lay these onions on top. It just adds a little something else to it. We're also going to put just a little bit more on top, just put a little color on the top of it. And in the last few minutes of the bake, we're going to add some, this is cheddar jack cheese. This is mild cheddar with your Monterey Jack cheese. We're going to add that right to the end. Hit it with the broil, put a little bit of color on it. So I think it's going to turn out wonderful. So let's get mixing. So first I like to add my butter, which is just your melted butter. Like I said, I put it in the microwave for about 45 minutes, or that'd be a long time, wouldn't it? 45 seconds. That melted it up pretty nicely. So let's go ahead and put our cream style corn in. Just dump the whole thing in. These little rubber spatula things are just the bomb. I actually got this one. You can see how small that is. On a clearance at Kohl's for like $3 or $4. There's I think 3 of them in the kit, and they work great for cans and anything. So that was our whole kernel corn. Now the egg I put in this bowl, and I just whipped it up real quick with a fork. So you want just 1 egg. Like I said, you can use 2 if you like. Just depends on your consistency. So we got that. And then our 8 ounces of sour cream. We want to put that in. Sour cream's going to give you a little bit of a tanginess about it. Now the reason why I opt to put peppers and onions in, because this can, with the corn, sour cream, everything, it can be very sweet. So I think that's a perfect opportunity to put a little bit of heat in there. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to go ahead and add our onions. Like I said, about a half cup. You can add however many, or just don't add them at all. But if you watch my channel, you know I love my onions and peppers. So we're just going to put all the Serranos in. After I throw them all over myself. Alright, all we got to do is mix it up. Once we get this mixed nicely, then we'll go ahead and put our Jiffy muffin mix in. So in the meantime, I've preheated my oven to 350. So we're going to bake this for about 45 minutes. We're going to put it in an 8x8 baking dish. And the 8x8, it's going to make it a little thicker, so it's going to cook just a little longer than like if you put it in a bigger, like maybe an 11x7 or 10x7. You're going to bake less because it won't be as thick. So we're going to put it in for about 45 minutes, and then in the end we have a little trick. All right, now that we've got that mixed nicely, let's go ahead and put our Jiffy muffin mix in. I'm going to get ahead of myself on words. So let's just get this poured in. And I love this meal because it is just so affordable. They're a side dish, actually. It's with the holidays coming up. It's a perfect dish to take to a barbecue. It's very inexpensive. Easy to make. Doesn't take long to make. And when you get there, everybody's going to eat it, and you come home with an empty dish. And that is what I always strive for. If I take something to somewhere, I want to bring home an empty dish. There you go. You can see a nice little colorful mix in here. Some yellows and greens, and of course your whites, your pale yellows. So, all right. I've already prepared our baking dish. I like to use a little bit of Crisco in it. So here's my 8x8, lightly greased. Like I said, I use a little butter flavored Crisco on that to grease it. I love that stuff. I love using it on bread products too. All right, let's dump this beautiful mixture in. Oh yeah. So if you notice the consistency, it's almost kind of an airy ness to it. It's great stuff. Try to clear out that bowl. Right. So we'll just flatten it out. And see how those peppers just give it a little pop of color. Now if somebody doesn't like Serrano peppers or the heat from peppers, just don't put them in. Or you can always put the jalapeno pepper in, which is a lot less heat and still good flavor. So let me clean my hands real quick. All right, so this is the part to where we'll put just a light layer of salt. Just ever so slightly, just enough to, with salt you want it to be a flavor enhancer, not a flavor. That's the way I've always understood it, the salt thing. And I like to put pepper right on the top. You can put it in the batter, whatever. I just put it on top. I think it adds a little bit of color up there to it as well. All right. So now these, I like to just lay these on top. And you'll be amazed what just this little bit of slivers of onion on top will do. So you have the diced onion on the inside, you have these on the top, so as they bake, oh, it's just, they're so good. I have a scalloped potato recipe that I like to do the same thing to and put jalapenos and everything in, so I'll have to put that on the channel one day. I haven't made it for quite a while, but we'll put that on the channel. So like I say, just put as many onions or less onions or no onions. Let's break that one right there, just for giggles. Okay. So now the cheese we're going to put on at the very end. I want to touch these with my hands. I want to regret it. But now when I cut all the peppers up, make sure you wear some type of a rubber glove because they will, the oils will stay on your hands, and if you rub your eye or whatever, it will burn. So, but just to do a light sprinkle. I will try to wash immediately. All right, that's probably good. We might spread them out. Okay, we'll go with that. All right, so what I'm going to do now is put this beautiful creation. We're going to put this in the oven at 350 for about 45 minutes. I want to set it for 40, and I'm going to just keep an eye on it. If you see the top starting to brown too much and it's not quite done, just put foil over it. But that shouldn't happen. So we're going for the golden brown. So I'll see you here in a little bit. Okay, this one being a 8x8 took a little longer to cook, so we were in about 55 minutes. You want to make sure that the jiggle is going right there in the middle. But if you look, this thing just turned out just beautiful. Nice crust on the sides like that. So what I like to do, what you don't have to do, is I like to go ahead and take my mix of cheese. I know the cheese is going to cover up kind of our good looking peppers and onions, but trust me, the cheese I think makes a very nice difference, and it doesn't take much, just a kind of a thin layer like this. I'm just going to set that back in the oven for just a couple 3 minutes is all. Then we will try it. I've had this in for 2 minutes, just enough to get that cheese melted down. Another nice touch, if you hit it with the broiler, you can kind of brown that a little bit. Gives it a little pop of color, but right there we have it. It's done. And the way I know it's done, no jiggle. Or you can temperature test it, see if you can get up about the 180 to 200 mark. You should be good there too. So let's let this rest for about 10 minutes. We'll come back, we'll try it. Okay, that baked in the oven about 55 minutes. We put cheese on, baked it for another 2. If you want it to bake less, or take less time baking, just put it in a little bit bigger dish to make it thinner, and it'll cook quicker. But here's our final product. What do you think? Not bad. Let's get this thing cut and let's try it. This has been sitting for probably about 10 minutes. So let's give it a try. So with that Crisco, that'll pull away from the sides just beautifully. This might take 2 hands here. It's definitely a creamier one. Oh, almost come out beautiful. Oh, the smell from that is just perfect. So I was hoping that was going to come out in a better piece. But you can see it's still nice and creamy. Very, very hot. Still, this thing holds heat. Notice the crust on the sides. Just wonderful. We have some cheese, we have some onions, we have some Serrano pepper in that bite. Let's check it out. That is just, it's very creamy. Serrano peppers just hit me. It's a good thing. Onions adds a little bit of texture. Man, this stuff is good. Again, it's one of those recipes that you really should give it a try. I'll have all the descriptions and stuff, or the recipe in the description, so try that. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoy any holiday. Anytime you make this, have fun with family and friends. And thank you again so much for watching another video at Cook It Simple with Eric. I really appreciate that. So please like and share. Until next week, thank you.